Hey, what's up, you guys? Century Productions here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the DC Collectibles Batman Arkham Origins Killer Croc figure. This guy is insane. I love every bit of him. More of a action figure than anything, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But some real quick background. He's in Series 2. This guy just came out, and I've been playing Arkham Origins for a while now, and it's pretty awesome. So, especially when Croc shows up. So, I mean, I just had to pick up this figure. It was just that cool. But yeah, I'll show you the box real quick. I'm just going to kind of lay him down, talk about. Box is really nice. It comes with the other characters in the series. They look really cool. Got the front. He's like got a little city background. It's really awesome. The back here, it says sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios, which is awesome. Gentle Giant is the guys that make all those Star Wars figures that are always super dope. And I have a couple of their Hellboy figures too, which are always really nice. So yeah, I'm really glad that it was sculpted by them. It's pretty cool. Let's talk about the sculpting. The skin, first off, I mean, there's so many little cut joints in this. I wish my camera would do it more justice, because it's just a piece of art. It really is. Got little cut marks right above the belly button here, and you can see the greens just kind of transitioning in there too. Really nice paint applications as well. See, there's some. I mean, you can just check out all this. Look at the sculpting. It's just. I mean, the back is just insane. So much detail thrown on there. You can see there's even different greens inside there and everything. Which is just really, really nice. And then you come down here and you can see got these wraps that have been wrapped on the figure. You can see there's some blood paint applications on there. It's just super detailed, and it's just really a piece of art. You can see that's followed on the other side, and then we come down to the pants. These don't seem to be actually like sculpted in. It looks, well, actually the lines look to be. The lines are actually been sculpted into the pants. Here, and you can see this belt hanging down, which is really nice. You can see it's wrapped around on the other side there, which is super cool. And then we go down into the feet, which are also that dark green that we saw on the back, which is really, really nice. Wish my light would pick it up better, but there we go. You can see there's some information on the bottom of the figure here. Doesn't say a year, so I wonder how long this was in the works. Curious to know that. You can see the belt. Belt's really nice as well. You can just ignore the crotch shot. Just a really, really nice, very well put together figure. Alright, let's go down to the face real quick. I mean, this is just scary. I remember when he shows up in the game, I was playing on a 65-inch TV, my buddies, and I remember the first time Croc came out in one of the cutscenes. It was just scary, man. So yeah, talk about the paint applications. We were talking about the greens and how they're transitioning inside here. I don't know if you would call that a green. I would say that's a really light green. I mean, this figure is just so well put together. And then we can see even the paint application is followed on the inside of the pieces of articulation, and even on the back as well some sculpting marks, it looks like. It's just truly a piece of art. We go down here and we can see the purple, and the purple's been thrown into those lines that have been sculpted in. Belt's been painted a solid brown, but there's even some little pieces of black thrown into the belt to kind of give it like a leather type of feel to it, which is really nice. We can see there's even like a zipper been sculpted on there and everything. We go down into here, you can see more of the wraps, but you can just see the color really pops on this figure. It's really, it looks like they use the darker type of color scheme, where they were just, you know, purples and dark greens and probably some oranges. You can see where the blood is. I don't know if that's a red, kind of looks a little orange, but it's just a really well painted figure. And of course on the back's probably my favorite part of the figure other than the face. You can see how it just concaves like a real alligator's would. And then you know, it's the scales themselves, all the little pieces that have been sculpted on there on the sides. Just a really, really well put together figure. So yeah, let's talk about the articulation really quickly. So I consider it a action figure, and I would consider it a action figure mainly because it feels delicate. You know, it's one of those figures that it's such a big piece of plastic, and they just kind of throw the articulation in there, but you can see that it was probably sculpted as just sculpted without any piece of articulation or anything. It was just cut up from there, it depends on what kind of plastic they're using, because the figure could come out really heavy, and that's why I have a big problem posing him, which is kind of, I mean, there we go. But real quick, if you want to see how tall he really is, I got Batman here, and put him down. You can see how tall Killer Croc really is. I hope they don't both fall over. I mean, he's so big, I can't even fit him in the whole reviewing area. I had to like tilt up the camera and everything. It's just a really big figure, and the price point was pretty good too. I got it at Comic Inc., my local comic book shop in Dublin, California, for around $30, which I thought was pretty reasonable for a figure of this size, which is really nice. But yeah, we were talking about how hard he was to stand, and that mainly attributed to how small the feet are. As you can see, it's just they got that one little tiny bit of plastic, and like I said, when they cut the figure up like that from a single mold, sometimes there's some problems as far as how it's standing. You can see how bulky the figure is up top as opposed to how small and inaccessible they are in the bottom, it looks like, because I mean, they got that pivot, but then again, there's this piece of articulation up here that I'm just afraid to move up because I'm afraid I'm going to break it. Same with at the top of the ball joint right here. Every time I move it up or move it down, I'm afraid I'm going to snap it. Even though I know it's a big, you know, hunky figure that is probably pretty well put together, it's just I'm still afraid of running the risk of, you know, actually breaking them or something like that. But I do like the articulation too because it's hidden relatively well. You can see on the legs here, you can't even really tell there's a piece of articulation. Go up here, I mean, there's some obvious points around the figure. Of course, you can't see the articulation, but for the better part of it, I think it's pretty well hidden, especially with all the dark color around the articulation. It's always good because it hides it pretty well. And you can see, and this is the funny thing, because as I was just saying that, I just noticed that where he's attached right here, they threw an even darker green in the center of it to kind of hide that, as well as right here on the arm. That's just so funny that I just happened to notice that right then and there. We're finding out new stuff live. Anyways, pieces of articulation. Looks up, looks down, goes left, goes right. The piece of articulation at the top of the arm, of course, goes front and back and up and down. I'm just afraid I'm gonna break it. You gotta be careful with figures like this, especially if it's been sculpted by Gentle Giant. They don't make, you know, they don't make crappy figures, so you just gotta be really careful with them. And then, of course, you got that piece of articulation right there, and then we go into the hands. You see, I mean, just look at all the details. Just amazing, amazingly sculpted. It goes up and down, 360 degrees. Go into the middle chest here, and it goes up and down, and you can just hear it. Just listen to it. Big piece of plastic, let me tell you. Alright, and that's followed on the other side, of course, and then we got the waist swivel. And then we go down into the legs. This is the other one that I'm afraid I'm going to snap. It's got those like DC Universe Classic joints that they've been using, but it's just been thrown on a figure that's so big. This goes up and down, it goes out. I'm just afraid, see, because now it's starting to rub up against here when I'm pulling it out, so I'm just going to be super careful with these ones. And anyways, it doesn't, I mean, I could spread his legs out, and maybe I could probably get him in a good pose. See, that's where that articulation on the feet and those pivots come in handy, because now I can kind of just set him down like this, and I already got a pretty decent pose out of him. So it's just a matter of, you know, taking the time to, you know, mess around with the figure and see what kind of poses you get in, and don't get frustrated if you can't get it in something. You just gotta, it's like chess, you gotta think 2 or 3 moves ahead, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, so that's, I mean, the articulation's still there. Of course, it goes on the knees right here, and that goes up and down, and there's a 360 degree swivel. I like this piece of articulation. It's really, it's hidden, it's pretty accessible, and it does the 360 degree turn, which is really nice. And we go down the feet, and we were just talking about that. They don't really go forward that much without causing the ankle to actually turn. So, you know, and then even there, you can kind of feel it's kind of hard to move them up and down. But that's the same, and you got the pivot right there. So overall, I mean, I would definitely recommend picking this guy up. This is actually my first Killer Croc figure. I don't even have any of the other Arkham Origins figures. But I would definitely recommend getting this one because he's just badass. I mean, honestly, look at him. As far as paint application goes, as far as how well it's sculpted, I mean, it's been sculpted by Gentle Giant, if I haven't said that a million times already. But, I mean, it's just so well put together. And if you can accept the fact that you won't be able to get him into too many crazy poses, I think it's worth going for. And they should check it out, man. Just check it out. Just check it out. Alright, this is Century Productions, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.
The video is over. Subscribe, damn it.